He was nicknamed Three-Finger Jack, having lost two of his right fingers in a sledding accident when he was young. John Red Hamilton was a notable figure in the criminal underworld of the early 20th century, primarily known for his association with the infamous bank robber John Dillinger. Hamilton's life and career were marked by a series of criminal exploits during the Great Depression, a time when bank robbery was rampant in the United States. He grew up in a tumultuous environment that likely shaped his predisposition toward a life of crime. Little is known about his early years, but it is evident that the challenges of the era influenced many young men to turn to illegal activities as a means of survival. By the time he reached adulthood, Hamilton had already begun to get involved in criminal activities. On March 16, 1927, he was convicted of the robbery of a gas station in St. Joseph County, Indiana, and sentenced to 25 years in prison. While incarcerated, he befriended a number of prominent bank robbers, such as John Dillinger, Russell Clark, Charles Mackley, Harry Pierpont, and Homer Van Meter. Dillinger was paroled in May 1933, but swore to liberate his friends, and had handguns smuggled into them. On September 26, 1933, a total of 10 armed men, including him, escaped from the main gate of Indiana State Prison. Hamilton's criminal career truly began to gain notoriety when he became associated with John Dillinger, one of America's most famed gangsters. Dillinger's gang was responsible for a series of high-profile bank robberies and had gained significant media attention for their daring heists and ability to evade law enforcement. Hamilton joined Dillinger's crew in the early 1930s, quickly becoming one of Dillinger's most trusted associates. As a member of Dillinger's gang, Hamilton participated in various bank robberies. His role primarily involved planning and executing the logistics of their heists, as well as engaging in violent confrontations with law enforcement. Hamilton's time with Dillinger was marked by a spree of robberies that were characterized by their boldness and precision. The gang targeted small-town banks, often using heavy weaponry and creating chaos in the streets to facilitate their escape. Hamilton was known for his courage in the face of danger, often taking on significant risks that many other criminals would shy away from. In addition to bank robberies, Hamilton was involved in various other criminal activities, including theft, carjacking, and armed robbery. His criminal expertise was notable, but it was his association with Dillinger that brought him into the limelight. The gang's exploits captured the attention of the nation, leading to a massive manhunt spearheaded by law enforcement. On April 23, they were again confronted by authorities in Hastings, Minnesota, and another shootout ensued. He was mortally wounded by a bullet as he and the rest of the gang escaped in a car. The gang again took him to see Dr. Joseph Moran in Chicago. For some reason, Moran refused to treat him. Dillinger then hit him with Volney Davis and Edna Murray in Aurora, Illinois. He was reportedly died on April 26, 1934. Dillinger and Davis buried their friend near Oswego, Illinois, and Dillinger reportedly covered his face and hands with lye, to hinder any later attempt to identify the body. Not yet knowing that he had died almost 3 weeks prior, authorities indicted him on May 19 of harboring fugitives. His sister was convicted of the same charge, and spent a short time in prison. There were at the time several persistent rumors that he was actually still alive. The FBI received numerous tips from people claiming to have seen or heard from him. Even his nephew maintained that he had personally visited his uncle in Ontario after his supposed death. Nevertheless, no hard evidence for his survival has ever been discovered. The amalgam restorations on the teeth of the body identified by Davis and Murray were compared with his dental records from Indiana State Penitentiary and were matched. John Red Hamilton was a Canadian criminal and bank robber active in the 1920s, 1930s.